part of me just never understood why the fuck I get the baddest karma ever. Like, I don't even know how it be karma because I genuinely don't be doing shit to nobody. I really am a good ass person. Like, I fed a homeless dude, got him and his friend's son a drink, bought him some food, got him a lift to wherever the fuck they had to go to, some shelter and everything, and bought them some clothes. Like, and then same day, I lose my car, I lose my man, lose my job. Who the fuck was I helping? Serial killers? Rappers? Who? Who the fuck was I helping? Who? Fuck.
8 bullets in the middle of a quiet Cincinnati forest. A 20-year-old mother gone without a trace. Who wanted her dead and why? This wasn't a robbery. Nothing was taken. No signs of struggle. Whoever pulled that trigger came with one purpose. Lanyah Dawson would never make it home that night. Was it jealousy? A broken heart? Or someone hiding a dangerous secret? Before we go deeper into this heartbreaking case, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell, because stories like this deserve answers. And when you hear what happened to Lanyah, you'll have questions of your own. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think. Lanyah Dawson was just 20 years old. A young mother with a smile that could light up a room and a spirit that pushed her through life's toughest challenges. To her friends, she was the one they could always count on. Loyal, outspoken, and full of life. To her family, she was their hope, the one who believed that no matter how hard things got, better days were ahead. She wasn't born into wealth. Everything Lanyah had, she worked for. She dreamed of giving her little girl the life she never had. Every choice she made, every long day of work, was for her. Her future was just starting to take shape. And then, in a single night, everything ended. Lanyah left her apartment like she had done countless times before. She told her mother she'd be home later. There was no sign of fear in her voice, no clue that danger was waiting. Hours later, that same voice would never speak again. Her body was discovered deep in a wooded area on the outskirts of Cincinnati. It was a place she had no reason to be, a place so quiet that even the wind seemed to hold its breath. The leaves around her were stained red, the ground telling a story no one wanted to believe. 8 bullets. That's how many times someone pulled the trigger. Her purse was still there. Her phone was in her pocket. Nothing was taken. This was no random crime. This was a message. Who hated Lanyah enough to take her life like this? And what was she doing in that forest, miles away from home? The answers would shock everyone. Lanyah grew up in Cincinnati, the middle child in a close-knit family. Her mother often said Lanyah had a fire in her that nothing could put out. She was bold, outspoken, and never afraid to chase what she wanted. Even as a little girl, she had this unstoppable energy, singing around the house, making everyone laugh, and always talking about big dreams that seemed too far for most kids to imagine. At 19, Lanyah's life changed forever. She became a mother. It wasn't easy, but to Lanyah, her daughter was everything. She used to tell her friends, "As long as she's okay, I'm okay." Every decision Lanyah made from that point on revolved around her little girl's future. That bond was unbreakable. If you scrolled through her social media, you'd see it. Pictures of them together, big smiles, matching outfits, and captions full of love. But Lanyah had dreams beyond motherhood too. Music was her passion. She wanted the world to hear her voice. She wasn't just writing lyrics. She was telling her story, hoping it would inspire someone else. Her confidence made her stand out, both online and in her community. People knew her name. They knew she was working hard to make something of herself.
I sell anything I get my hands on. Give me the dope, I build a dope phone. It ain't shit to extend your zone. If a nigga purpose send his ass home. I made 50 off of iPhone. Just got the pack in, tryna get it go. If I ain't made no money, I ain't going home. Bitch hating on her, what she on? Your block get hectic. My niggas been in, they ready for seconds. Yo, bitch call, said she wanna sex me. Text to the room and make her undress. When the police get behind me, don't panic. Just tell me you don't know me and my name's Sandy. Circle so small, yeah, I hang with a few. Bitch breath stinks, so I get rid of boo. This shit you gotta.
To the people closest to her, Lanyah wasn't just an aspiring rapper or a devoted young mother. She was a fighter, a woman who refused to let life's challenges define her. But no one ever thought her greatest struggle would end in a silence so deep it still echoes today. Behind the bright smile and the bold confidence, Lanyah carried a weight that most people never saw. Being a single mother at such a young age wasn't easy. She worked late nights, juggled bills, and still tried to hold on to her dreams. Friends said she rarely complained, but deep down, the pressure was real. She wanted success, not just for herself, but for her little girl. Music was her escape. It was the one place she felt completely free. But chasing that dream came with its own risks. The local rap scene wasn't all support and encouragement. It was competitive, full of people trying to make it big, sometimes at any cost. In that world, friendships could turn into rivalries overnight. Was someone in that circle threatened by her growing popularity? Then there were her personal relationships. People close to Lanyah hinted that she had been seeing someone quietly, someone who wasn't ready for the world to know. Was this a secret love affair? If so, who was he, and what was he hiding? Jealousy has a way of turning love into hate, and the people you trust most can sometimes be the ones who hurt you the deepest. Lanyah lived her life out loud on social media, sharing her music and her moments with her daughter, but not everything made it online. There were pieces of her story only a few knew about, and it's in those hidden pieces that investigators would find the first clues to what really happened that night. That morning, she sent a text to her mom, a simple message asking if she could stop by later in the week. Nothing sounded unusual. She played with her little girl, shared a few laughs, and even posted a short clip of herself humming a new song idea on social media. To anyone watching, it looked like a normal day in her world. But something shifted as the evening approached. Around 5:45 p.m., Lanyah was still active on her phone, liking a few posts and responding to a friend's message. Then suddenly, silence. No more replies. No calls. Not a single update. For someone as active online as Lanyah, that wasn't like her. By 6 p.m., her phone went quiet. Hours passed, and her mother began to worry. Where was Lanyah? Why didn't she tell anyone where she was going? Those closest to her said she was protective of her time with her daughter. So leaving the house without an explanation didn't make sense. What could have pulled her away so suddenly? Later that night, her car was found parked near Mount Airy Forest, one of Cincinnati's largest and most secluded parks. At night, it's a place that feels endless. Thick trees, winding trails, and long stretches of darkness. Locals know it's not somewhere you go alone after sunset. It's quiet, too quiet. A single scream could vanish into the air without a trace. Why was she there? Who was she meeting? And if this was a simple outing, why didn't she come back? That forest would soon hold answers, answers that no one was ready to face. At 12:30 a.m., a 911 call came in. The voice on the other end sounded shaken, almost terrified. A man out for a late-night drive had spotted something unusual near a trailhead in Mount Airy Forest. When officers arrived, the quiet of the forest was almost haunting. Their flashlights cut through the darkness, revealing a sight no one expected. Lanyah's body lay just a few feet from the trail, her clothes untouched, her belongings still with her. There was no sign of a robbery, no evidence of a struggle. But what they did find told a chilling story. 8 shell casings scattered on the ground. Every shot had been fired at close range. Whoever pulled the trigger didn't just want to hurt her. They wanted to make sure she never walked away. The pattern of the gunfire was deliberate, controlled. This wasn't random. It wasn't quick. It was cold and calculated. The officers noted something else. Her car was parked neatly, as if she had driven there willingly. There were no signs of panic, no attempt to run. By the time detectives secured the scene, one thing was clear. This wasn't a crime of chance. It was personal. Someone had waited for her in that dark, empty forest. someone she trusted enough to meet that night. And whoever it was, they left nothing behind but silence, 8 bullets, and a question that would haunt this investigation. Why her? When detectives began piecing together Lanyah's final hours, they quickly ran into a wall. There were no security cameras in the area, no witnesses, and no digital trail pointing to where she had gone or who she was meeting. Her phone activity went silent after 6 p.m., and by the time her body was found, there were no clear answers, only questions that grew darker by the hour. One thing investigators were certain about: this was no random act of violence. Whoever killed Lanyah had planned it. But why? And who was close enough to pull her into that forest without raising suspicion? The first theory focused on her personal life. Lanyah was young, beautiful, and had been in and out of relationships. Was there someone who couldn't let go? Someone consumed by jealousy? Detectives learned that in the weeks before her death, there were heated arguments over trust and loyalty. Could a lover's anger have turned deadly? Then came another possibility: the music scene. Lanyah was chasing her dream of becoming a rapper, and she was making waves locally. She was confident, outspoken, and some people loved her for it, but not everyone. The industry, even at the local level, can be full of envy and hidden grudges. Did someone see her as competition? Did a rival decide to silence her forever? A third theory was floated: a random predator. But the crime scene didn't match that idea. Nothing was stolen. Her clothes were untouched. Whoever did this wasn't after money or valuables. They were after her. And then there was the most disturbing thought of all: a complete betrayal by someone she trusted. Someone who knew her well enough to make her leave home without hesitation. Someone who could look her in the eye and pull the trigger 8 times. Theories kept piling up, but none brought investigators closer to the truth. And that's where I turn to you. Which theory do you think makes the most sense? Was it jealousy, rivalry, or something much deeper? Drop your thoughts in the comments. When news of Lanyah's death reached her family, their world shattered in an instant. Her mother described the moment as a pain so deep, it felt like the air was stolen from her lungs. But the hardest part wasn't the funeral or the sleepless nights. It was the little girl she left behind. Her daughter was just 1 year old, far too young to understand why her mom wasn't coming home. In the days after Lanyah's murder, family members said she would wander the house, calling out, "Mommy," expecting her to answer. Imagine being the one to hold that child, knowing you can never give her what she's asking for. Now, Lanyah's family is trying to do the impossible: raise her daughter in a world where her mother was taken in such a violent way. Every birthday, every holiday, every milestone is a reminder of the life that was stolen. They keep pictures of Lanyah all around the home, playing her music so her daughter will never forget the voice that once sang her to sleep. The family speaks about her with so much love, but also with a pain that never fades. They ask the same question every night. Why? Why would someone take a mother from her child? Why did they have to do it this way? And here's where I turn to you. Parents, imagine sitting down with your little one and trying to explain why mommy isn't coming back. What would you even say? After Lanyah's body was found, the neighborhood came together to show just how much she meant to everyone who knew her. A candlelight vigil was held at the edge of Mount Airy Forest, the very place where her life was taken. People stood in silence, holding white balloons and candles that glowed softly against the cold night air. Her favorite songs played in the background as friends and family shared their memories through tears. Some spoke about her unforgettable laugh that could light up a room, while others remembered the sacrifices she made to give her daughter a better life. Online, tributes poured in from every direction. Social media was filled with photos, videos of her rapping, and heartfelt messages like, "You didn't deserve this," and "Justice for Lanyah." Hashtags started trending, people demanding answers, but with all that noise, something was still missing: the truth. Despite all the love shown in public, behind the scenes there was an unsettling silence. No one came forward. Not one solid tip that could help investigators. It was as if the entire city had seen the headlines, mourned, and then locked their lips. Police believe people know something, but fear is keeping them quiet. Fear of retaliation, fear of being the next target, fear of what could happen if they spoke up. So now I want to ask you, what would keep you from speaking up if you knew the truth? Would it be fear for your safety, loyalty to someone you care about, or something completely different? Months have passed, and still no arrests. No suspects officially named. No justice for Lanyah. Her family wakes up every day with the same question: who did this, and why? Detectives admit they need the community's help. They believe someone out there knows something. Maybe it's a detail you overheard, a message you saw, or a conversation that didn't sit right with you. If you have any information, there are tip lines open right now, and yes, you can remain completely anonymous. Silence only protects the person who pulled the trigger. Let me ask you this. If this was your daughter, your sister, your friend, would you stay silent? Or would you fight to make sure the truth came out? Justice doesn't happen on its own. It needs voices. If you care about stories like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, share this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think is behind this, and why? The more people talk about it, the harder it becomes for the killer to hide.